Former Attorney General William Barr recently criticized former President Donald Trump. It's getting a little spicy now. So now Barr recently told NBC News host Lester Holt in an interview on Sunday that Trump was responsible for January 6th. He said, quote, "I do think he was responsible in the broad sense of that word, in that it appears that part of the plan was to send this group up to the hill. I think the whole idea was to intimidate Congress, and I think that was wrong." Would you look at that? It is semi-reasonable take from William Barr. Let's see how long that lasts. Probably about 0.2 seconds, because then he added that he had not seen any evidence that Trump was, quote unquote, legally responsible for it in terms of incitement. Literally inciting the crowd, let's go walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, let's fight for our country, and then as they walked, he walked right into the bunker. Oops. Sad. So look, that matters because once again, you have heard William Barr, trying to shield Donald Trump from any legal issues related to January 6th. Big surprise, right? Now, what's interesting is that while Barr is doing some very light criticism of Donald Trump, saying, I think he's responsible, but not in a legal sense or anything like that. He shouldn't actually get any trouble or see any jail time or anything like that. But I do think he's responsible. So he's trying to have his cake and eat it too. Now, that said, Donald Trump is an idiot. He's not a smart person. And so once he heard that, it set him off, and he literally released a 3-page statement going after William Barr. I'm going to read just a couple of parts of that. Here's what he said, quote, "Bill Barr was not one of my better picks. When the radical left Democrats threatened to hold him in contempt and even worse, to impeach him, he became virtually worthless for law and order and election integrity. The man making statements in this fake book or in the interview with NBC News is not the same man who asked for the job of Attorney General or wrote his glowing letter of resignation." He also claimed that William Barr was, quote unquote, slow and a big disappointment. "He was afraid to act and usually didn't. I would imagine that if the book is anything like him, it will be long, slow, and very boring." Three pages of just like incoherent rage and conspiracy theories. William Barr just did you a solid, dude. He just said, you're not legally liable for January 6th. Even when he's kissing your ass and making sure that you have nothing happen to you legally, which really is really important, because the J6 committee, they're kind of gunning for you for good reason. But no, there's no tact here. There's no critical thinking at all. He can't read into anything. He just sees criticism. How dare you very lightly criticize me? I'm going to come after you now. Slow, disappointment, very boring. Wow. So now, on Monday, actually, he was on with Savannah Guthrie on cable news, and he had a response to this. Let's take a look.
All right, here's the guy you came out of private life to help, someone you stuck your neck out for. Do you have any reaction to that?
It's par for the course. I mean, the president is a man who, when he's told something he doesn't want to hear, he immediately throws a tantrum and attacks the person personally. So I thought the letter was childish.
Childish. Well, I mean, that's true. And so, yeah, that's exactly what he does. William Barr is technically correct on this. However, Barr said, well, if it were, look, 2024, Donald Trump were up for election, which he plans on doing, if he goes through and wins a Republican primary, which I think is pretty likely, or at least incredibly possible, then he would absolutely vote for him again. In fact, here's what he said, quote, "I certainly have made it clear I don't think he should be our nominee, and I'm going to support somebody else for the nomination. But if he is the nominee, and your choice is Donald Trump and whoever is voting on the Democratic side," this is Guthrie actually asking, "but if he is your nominee and your choice is Donald Trump and whoever's voting on the Democratic side, would you vote for him?" He said, "Yes, because I believe the greatest threat to the country is the progressive agenda pushed by the Democratic Party. It's inconceivable to me that I wouldn't vote for the Republican nominee." Because of course, understand, like, this is technically the lesser of two evils thing that happens. And if you think like it's only the left that does that, no, it's the right that does. And so that's what makes me like, what made me laugh about the Lincoln Project, right? You remember the Lincoln Project? They put out some pretty good ads. It was aimed towards libs. But they thought, no, we could ostensibly turn Republicans against Donald Trump. And what happened? More Republicans voted for Donald Trump. You're not going to change Republicans away from Donald Trump. That's why the whole thing was a grift. That's why the whole thing was just an absolute failure. You were not going to get Republicans to vote against Donald Trump because of the way. Look, understand, and I've been talking about conservative media and their basically chokehold on people for a very long time. The Fox News, Newsmax, OAN, they don't just make it as like if we go with Biden, we're not going to get pro-conservative policies. No, they literally frame it as if you vote for a Democrat, you are voting for literally Satan. And you are voting for Satan to come and eat your children. That's how they frame the choice. So no, of course, we have a lesser of two evils thing here on the Democratic side. And I'm no fan of that, where it's like, oh, we vote for this, neoliberal corporate stooge, or we vote for, or we don't vote for all, or for anyone at all, or whatever. Voting for the neoliberal corporate stooge sucks, and I hated it. But the framing is way different than what you have on the Republican side, which again is, oh, you could vote for Donald Trump, which is, again, he's a little crass and, he doesn't always 100% agree with us and everything like that on that. But, and by the way, Donald Trump has done pretty much everything the Republican Party wants, which is serve corporations incredibly well. But their framing is, well, we don't agree with Donald Trump on everything. But by the way, the opponent literally murders and eats children. So, what are you going to do, right? You got to vote for Donald Trump. Well then, fun. Again, the whole thing is pretty ridiculous. So if you're expecting Republicans, and by the way, Never Trumpers are a very, very small group of people, very, very small. They're not the majority. You're not going to have Republicans turn on Donald Trump for any sort of reason. It's just not going to happen. And so it doesn't surprise me at all that William Barr is going to do exactly what Republicans do. Republicans going Republican. And so maybe we should stop, this message to the Democrats here, maybe Democrats should stop trying to win over Republican voters by appealing to them on their ideas. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with reaching out to the right with our ideas to show them that our ideas are better and to have them come over to our side that way. But that's not what the Democratic Party seems to be doing. They seem to be trying to aim towards conservative voters by being more conservative. And let me tell you, when you have a choice between Republican and Republican light, what are they going to choose? They're going to choose a Republican every single time.